Good evening, folks. I'm Mr. K, and I'm going to play you some songs from my brand new record, An Event of Moon Disaster. Just came out earlier this week. This first one's called Lonely One. It started with a broken heart, and I buried that feeling alive, and dug it up later in a diamond mine. I never held a diamond before. I didn't quite understand that true love was more than a rock on a hand. I don't want to be the lonely one. I don't need to be so lucky. I don't want to be the lonely one, just satisfied in my mind. On the shore of a forbidden lake, I got a thrill from the tug on the line. You pulled me into the water to find. I swam with you out to the moon, faster than the earth is spun. Your love is a perpetual setting sun. I don't want to be the lonely one. I don't need to be so lucky. I don't want to be the lonely one, just satisfied in my mind. I don't want to be the lonely one. I don't need to be so lucky. I don't want to be the lonely one, just satisfied in my mind. I don't want to be the lonely one. I don't need to be so lucky. I don't want to be the lonely one, just satisfied in my mind. So tonight I'm going to be playing through a selection of all songs from this new record, An Event of Moon Disaster, and it's this album is a concept record. It's all the songs are interconnected, weaving in and out of one another, and another reason why I guess I'm kind of calling this an unofficial launch tonight is because I don't have my band here with me, and we're not linking all these songs together kind of like they are on the record. Tonight I'm going to be breaking them down one at a time, and I think I might tell you a little bit of some of the stories behind them and this project altogether too. And this album is built around finding hope in darker days. And this next song here is called Hundreds of Dollars. west tonight, at the first glimpse of a star. My shadow's eastward bound, headed back to where you are. Still I'm on the search for something I may never find, blowing in the wind on a road I left behind, where there's hundreds of dollars, thousands of roads, and a million stars. God only knows why I wished on one that didn't fall. Thank God the price of gas is down, and I got work in every town, from the foothills to the shore. With every mile I miss you more, and the sunset playing on my dash was more than I could take. It led my eyes to tear and caused my heart to wake. But there's hundreds of dollars, thousands of roads, and a million stars. God only knows why I wished on one that didn't fall. On the day I had a wish, I placed it on a star. It must have been a satellite in the universe so far. And so I'm on the search for something I may never find, 'cause it always brings me back to the one I left behind, where there's hundreds of dollars, thousands of roads, and a million stars. God only knows why I wished on one that didn't fall. I've taken my chances, stuck in a life between a one-horse town and an endless night on the highway, just wishing I was home. This was the song that kind of, I would say, spearheaded the whole Mr. K project. For 5 years, I was touring as Kevin Roy. Roy is my middle name. In many ways, this project is kind of me getting back in touch with my identity and stuff. My real last name is Cratch. Kevin Cratch is my last name. And Mr. K is kind of a way of paying tribute to that, but also to my... I'm also a school teacher, so that's kind of... And I live in a schoolhouse. So, I'm playing songs from this record here, An Event of Moon Disaster. Maybe I'll hold it up there for Buio to shoot. And that little yellow house there, that's my home out in just north of the town of Lorette. And the house that my wife and I, she's also a school teacher, she's also part of my live band. The house we live in is actually a schoolhouse built in 1896. It's a historic building. It's got its own Government of Manitoba webpage and stuff. It's pretty neat. But back to darker days, this song here was kind of, like I said, the song that started the whole Mr. K project. I grew really apart from the music I was writing as Kevin Roy, and this song here kind of came to me in the middle of the night, and it was probably the most vulnerable and poignant song that I'd ever written as a musician up until that point. And I sent this song to my producer, Rusty Mattias. I didn't know him at the time, and I sent him this message just saying, you know, I want to write this record. This is one of the songs I want to do. It's a pretty vulnerable song. This album is about, you know, finding hope through these darker days. And the reply I got from him was actually that he was just walking out the door to clean himself up. He had been battling some demons with alcohol, and his liver was not doing so well, and the doctors basically told him that he, you know, he needs to stop, or you know, it might compromise the length of his life. And so he did. He sobered up and spent some time working on himself there. And then when the timing was right there, he called me back up and we got in the studio and we started working on the record. And this was that song that kind of, it was a song that came to me when I needed it. It was a song that I'd like to think was shared with him when he needed it. And it kind of deals with the challenges and the struggles that go along with anxiety and depression or whatever demons it is you're battling. This one's called Darker Days. It's not the way I wanna feel, at least I felt, so I know I'm real. How long it's been, I just can't say. I wish I knew it's not the only way. Trembling hand, I write this song to ease my mind and carry on, 'cause pressures build inside my head. When I wake, I do it all again. These darker days, I feel the light on every stage, on every night. The thrill, it fades when the lights come down in the same hotel in a different town. Clear, waking up. It's my biggest fear. Thanks, folks. So as I said, this album is kind of it's a journey. I like to refer to it as kind of like a pendulum swung through the hardships of these darker days. And from that song, it moves on to finally finding that sleep. And this next song is a tune called NIGH Land, open parentheses, Luna's Lullaby, close parentheses. And Luna is my bulldog, and my wife and my bulldog, she's 4 years old. We named her Luna after the moon. She has a perfect spot about yay big on her back. She's actually on this album cover here too. I don't know if you'd see her in there, probably not. You'll have to check it out on your own maybe. And she has all these other little dots that as she got older, these other spots that have kind of emerged, we like to call them her stars. And this album, when I was in studio, I was working on it with Rusty Mattias, and as I said, we were both kind of at a place where we both kind of needed, someone to just hang out with and get, help us kind of reconnect with ourselves and find ourselves. And in the studio, it was just the two of us. It was kind of like a therapy session. Every day we go into studio, we made sure we were in our comfiest cozies, which I hope you are all wearing right now too. Being at home, hope you got your house coats or whatever it is. We wore house coats to studio some days, and we made sure that we were taking 8-hour shifts in the studio. We weren't working overtime. A lot of studios don't have windows and are can be pretty cave-like settings, and we made sure we worked, every few hours we'd take a break and go outside and get some fresh air and whatever it may be. And this next song is, as I said, it's about finding that sleep after you just can't be awake anymore. And when you're laying awake and you finally, as I said, it's a lullaby, Luna's Lullaby, NIGH Land. It's time to close your eyes and lay your weary head and drift into the night. Jenna, June, and Ben, let Uncle Kevin's band send you off to NIGH Land again. If you hear the falling rain, you see the headlights passing by, it's all part of the show in the symphony of night. Let it carry you away, send you off to NIGH Land again. Ah, Thank you very much, folks. What I wanted to mention, I totally forgot before that last song when I was talking about my doggo Luna. So she actually plays on this album. Rusty and I did this whole record in studio, just the two of us doing the instrumentation of all the different guitars and bass and things like that, with the exception of our good buddy Glenn Radley, who played the kit drums. Otherwise, it was Rusty and I, just the two of us doing the harmonies and all that kind of fun stuff. And there is one other artist though who did play on this record, and that is my dog Luna. And what I mean by that is Luna doesn't bark. She's a pretty quiet dog. And when she has to go to the washroom, she goes through our back door, and she smashes her bulldog head against this little like ice fishing bell we have tied on a string. And that's how she lets us know that she has to go outside to go to the washroom, or she eventually started conditioning us, I think, just to go outside. And anyway, what I did is I got up one day and I recorded her. First thing she does in the morning when she gets up, she's the last one, or she's the first one in bed and the last one out of bed. And when she got up, I set up a recording apparatus at our back door and recorded her hitting her head against this bell to let me know she had to go outside. And what I did is I took this bell sound and I weaved it into every time the lyric "moon" is sung on this record. We weaved in this sound of Luna ringing her bell into the soundscape of this record. So if you want to give a listen to what these songs sound like, with the full band arrangement, including my dog, it's available all on streaming services now. The album came out February 2nd, and one other thing too, with the album release, I just released a video as well. You can listen to the whole album on YouTube while watching foxes, baby foxes. When the pandemic struck in March, I found myself getting hit with another bout of anxiety, and it was starting to weigh on me. And in our property where we live, we have a fox den, and every year these foxes, there's a new litter in this den. And so what I did is, when I was working from home, as all of us were doing, every morning I got up at 6 in the morning for 3 months, 3 hours a day. I'd pour my coffee, I'd get my camera. I'm also a photographer as well, if you want to see any of that stuff. I have that out on my social media stuff you can check out on your own time there. Anyway, I set up my camera just to take some photos and stuff, but I started doing videos and ended up with hours and hours of footage. And I did a music video for this next song. This is the single we led with. It's called Harmony. And I did a music video with those foxes kind of splicing it down, but I had so many hours that doing this 3-minute music video, I just felt like I had so much footage that was just unseen. So what I did is I've done the whole album with the extended scenes, and you can check that out on my YouTube channel. HD fox cub footage. You get to watch them over 3 months, kind of getting older to the sounds of this record. Anyway, this next song is called Harmony. I wasn't trying to be a dreamer, all I wanted was some sleep, 'cause my eyes are growing tired of what became reality. I dreamt the circle had been broken, a rusty link that held the chain, that brought us back to square one when we could have used some change. I saw harmony across the land, people building up what we had down, changed our mistakes and we finally moved on. It didn't take me for a dreamer till you got lost in my eyes, on a hardship tossed in the wind. On every rising tide you saw the places I was seeking, and the shores that have no names, 'cause eyes that hold the ocean, they hold a deeper pain. I saw harmony across the land, people building up what we had down, changed our mistakes and we finally moved on. wasn't trying to be a dreamer, all I wanted was some sleep. 'Cause my eyes are growing tired of what became reality. I saw harmony across the land, people building up what we had down, changed our mistakes and we finally moved on. I saw harmony across the land, people building up what we had down, changed our mistakes and we finally moved on. Thank you very much. I'm gonna head over to the guitar. All right, so yeah, this next song is called Tamarack, and it's a song about tree identification, specifically conifer identification. Being in Manitoba, we have a lot of different conifers, and I learned that the answer is all hidden in the needles. If they're flat, they're firs. If they're square, they're spruce. If they're in a pair, they're pines. Anyway, yeah, I hope it helps you with your tree identification going forward. There's a new live video with my wife and I singing this one too, from our backyard. I've been running these backyard sessions through the pandemic, just a way of, my wife plays with me in my live band, so it's kind of nice that I'm in lockdown with one of my band members, which is really great. So yeah, that one, it should be, I think it's out already. Check out my YouTube there for that. We're playing on a frozen pond in our backyard, sitting in a canoe with our dog duffing in the middle and kind of passing out and drifting in and out while she's listening to us singing. Anyway, this one's called Tamarack. Started in the shadows of a cone-bearing tree when I took you by your little hand. Was it pine, cedar, spruce, fir, or tamarack? I never really understand. You said the answer's in the needle. Some are short, some are round, some are flat, and some are square. A good alliteration to identify the pine as a pine, grow together as a pair. Don't you cry, little tamarack, your needles are gone, but they're gonna come back in spring. Here's a little lullaby to pull you through the winter till you hear the songbirds sing. The spruce by the fence line was feeling pretty square, no songbird in his tree. And the fir was flat when he tried to sing out a high lonesome melody. The cedar out of place, getting red in the face with the woodpecker chopping up his bark. And the poor little tamarack, naked in the fall, left to shiver through the winter in the dark. Don't you cry, little tamarack, your needles are gone, but they're gonna come back in spring. Here's a little lullaby to pull you through the winter till you hear the songbirds sing. Don't you cry, little tamarack, your needles are gone, but they're gonna come back in spring. Here's a little lullaby to pull you through the winter till you hear the songbirds sing. Thank you very much, folks. Hope you're enjoying yourselves out there, and wherever it is you are, I hope you're safe and cozy and with the ones you love. And it's a real pleasure to be playing music again. I really lit up when I saw that email that I'm being summoned for a show, and I couldn't be. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else than where I am right now. And I thank you very much for joining with me here. All right. Well, this next song I want to play for you is actually one of the early songs I wrote. I wrote the song when I was still performing as Kevin Roy, and this is one of the songs that kind of tipped me over the scale to. It was very different from the things I was writing, and kind of pushed me into the kind of defining, rebranding, whatever you want to call it, starting up this whole Mr. K project. And the song's called Game of Hearts. And I actually wrote this song shortly after Tom Petty had passed away. And the day Tom Petty died, I was actually up in Northwest Territories in Inuvik. I was playing a Home Roots concert series up there, and in the morning, we were having our coffee after the show, and we were on our way out shortly. The first thing we saw, our news feeds lit up on our phones, and we saw the news that there was a shooting at the Mandalay Bay Hotel, and it was at a concert, and a bunch of people, innocent people who were watching their favorite bands, were shot and killed. And it struck us. It hit us really hard. And then we got on this plane, and we flew down to Dawson City. And then when we got off the plane in Dawson City and we turned our phones back on, it lights up again, and it said Tom Petty had passed away. And it was just the weight of that news was just a lot. My buddy Logan and I, who was on tour with at the time, we had a long drive that day to get back to Whitehorse, and the only way we knew how to do it was to put on Wildflowers, Tom Petty's Wildflowers, and we listened to that album on repeat as we were rolling through the Yukon heading back to Dawson City. Anyway, I wrote this song shortly after that day, and each verse is kind of about a different, I guess, a different scenario pertaining to environmentalism and so on. And the last verse is the one I wrote for that day. Anyway, this one's called Game of Hearts.
Joker wears a Trump suit and he towers over you. And the great white north's receding, and there's only so far to go. The glaciers tear and disappear into the undertow. And would you spare some change for the polar bears that head on into town? 'Cause the coffee shop down the block will have the only ice caps around. And I feel I'm living in a game of hearts, and someone changed the rules. 'Cause the Joker wears a Trump suit and he towers over you. Tried to hunt the salmon run to feed our fellow man, but the water winds and took our lines, they got snagged on the dam. And so we cursed them all with the childish games they're playing with the wild. Red Rover, call the salmon queen over. And I feel I'm living in a game of hearts, and someone changed the rules. 'Cause the Joker wears a Trump suit and he towers over you. when the devil knocked the windows out of Mandalay Bay Hotel and let bullets drain like acid rain, he headed back down to hell. And I'd rather been with Mary Jane learning how to fly, but my tears they fall for Uncle Tom and the other 59. And I feel I'm living in a game of hearts and someone changed the rules, 'cause the Joker wears a Trump suit and he towers over you. And I feel I'm living in a game of hearts and someone changed the rules, 'cause the Joker wears a Trump suit and he towers over you. The Joker wears a Trump suit and he towers over you. Thank you. All right, I got one more song for you. So this song is called Mr. K. Thanks again for listening, folks. I'm Mr. K, Kevin. I look forward to chatting with you all soon, answering your questions, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you soon. I hope to take the show on the road when we can. Hey, hey, Mr. K, we don't want to go to work today, because the sun is shining and it looks like it's here to stay. I got a smile, a country mile, I got the grass beneath my feet, and I'm flying around, both feet on the ground. I'm living on Easy Street. I got nothing but breeze to shoot, I got acres of land to boot. Come on down and we're singing do-do-do. Hey, hey, Mr. K, we don't want to go to work today, because the sun is shining and it looks like it's here to stay. Got the moon running around the yard, and she's weaving through the trees and stars. We'll show you around if you get uptown to the little country home of ours. And if you're feeling down today, no Google Maps can't display. We're in the little yellow house at the end of the Milky Way. Hey, hey, Mr. K, we don't want to go to work today, because the sun is shining and it looks like it's here to stay. Hey, Mr. K, we don't want to go to work today, because the sun is shining and it looks like it's here to stay. Hey, hey, Mr. K, we don't want to go to work today, because the sun is shining and it looks like it's here to stay. Thank you so much, folks. It's been a real pleasure playing for you. I'm Mr. K. Kevin's my name. I look forward to chatting with you soon, and thanks for joining us on your evening here, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Thank you so much. We'll see you again. started in the shadows of a cone-bearing tree when I took you by your little hand. Was it pine, cedar, spruce, fir, or tamarack? I never really understand. You said the answer's in the